What if the unseen battles tearing at your soul were not meant to crush you, but to ignite a divine wildfire within, a blaze so fierce it could set the heavens ablaze and make hell tremble at your name? What if, right now, eternity itself is holding its breath, waiting for you to claim the scroll of your destiny before it vanishes in a heartbeat? This is no ordinary moment. That restless fire in your chest, the dreams that haunt your nights, the unshakable sense that you were made for more, they're not accidents. They're war cries from a realm where angels clash, where your name reverberates in the throne room of glory, and where a cosmic battle rages over the light you were born to carry. You didn't stumble here, you were summoned. The veil between heaven and earth is fraying, and a voice like thunder is calling you out of the shadows, urging you to seize this fleeting second before the gates slam shut. Your pain, your scars, your silent prayers, they've all been forging you for this. The stars are aligned, the angels are poised, and the King himself is watching. This isn't just a message, it's a divine collision, a holy spark meant to set your soul ablaze. Step into it now, or risk missing the moment heaven has been orchestrating since before time began. Beloved, I am so glad you finally found this. I promise you'll cry when you hear what I have to say, but hurry, this message will vanish in 35 seconds. Lift your eyes to me now, for I, Michael, servant of the Most High, warring Prince of Heaven's host, am sent not with sword, but with fire of truth, truth that must pierce your soul like lightning rends the sky. The Father has waited, the heavens have watched, and now I speak, not from afar, but directly into the deep places of your spirit. The veil between has thinned, the word has been opened, and your name, it trembles in the courts of glory even as you listen. Listen closely, child of dust and breath, beloved of the Ancient One, for the King has remembered you in the secret chambers of eternity. Your tears were collected like crystal in the bowls of the sanctuary, Psalm 56:8. Not one sorrow fell to the earth without echoing through the vaults of heaven. You thought you were forgotten, but the angels have spoken your name in fire. You thought your prayers dissolved into silence, but I tell you truly, they rose like incense, and now comes the answer, wrapped in thunder and wings. You have been in a war you could not see, but I have seen it. I have stood above your home at night, flaming sword drawn, as dark spirits circled like jackals in the long hours. They came to smother your hope, to poison your sleep, to whisper lies into the marrow of your being. And yet, you rose, even without knowing why. You chose the light again and again, and every choice echoed through realms far beyond your sight. You have no idea what your obedience has shattered. You walk in a world of shadows, but the war is real. The enemy has asked to sift you like wheat. Luke 22:31. But the Son of God, he who rides on the white horse with eyes like flames, he has prayed for you. I heard and called your name in the garden of intercession, his robes soaked with blood, saying, Father, this one is mine. I wept at his words. The devils that stalked you fled at his voice. But still, the battle has raged, for you carry something the enemy fears, a light woven into your spirit before the foundations of the world. You are not just passing through this life. You are a flame hidden in fragile flesh. You are a living scroll, sealed with divine fire. And now, beloved, the seal is breaking. I was sent to deliver the scroll of your identity. Heaven has watched. You wander long enough. You have mistaken your wounds for your worth. You've let silence define you. But I declare now, by the breath of the Almighty, your silence is over. Your destiny is thundering awake. The seals are snapping. The angels are leaning close. The very stars await your agreement with God. You were never meant to live as one forgotten. You were born in the heart of God, dreamed before the worlds began, and chosen to carry light into generations not yet born. The pain you endured was not meaningless. Every agony became oil, every cry turned to power. Your scars, oh, your scars, they are not marks of shame, they are keys. They unlock doors in others. That is why you have been so fiercely opposed. Hell fears the unlocking in you. There is a mystery sealed in your bloodline, a divine inheritance buried beneath the rubble of time and trauma. I see it like fire on your brow, an ancient anointing waiting. Generations past saw it dimly. Some felt it and wept, others lost it in compromise. But you, yes, you are the one marked to redeem it. The generational blessing rests on your shoulders, trembling like a mantle, waiting for you to rise in faith and receive it. And now I must tell you what has weighed on my spirit. There is a door that opened briefly, only once, because of a decision you made. You didn't even realize it. A whisper you obeyed, a temptation you resisted, a stranger you showed mercy to. That moment tilted the scale in the heavens. It aligned your steps with a divine encounter set in motion years ago. But the moment is fleeting and the enemy knows it. That is why your battles increased suddenly, why you felt confusion descend like a fog. He hopes to blind you before you see what is right in front of you. But now, I declare your clarity has returned. The Lord rebukes the fog. The King calls you forward. Child, look around. Can you not feel it? The air has changed. The silence is singing. The watchers are watching, and I, Michael, stand here with sword drawn, not to frighten but to remind you. This is real, more real than the stone and soil beneath your feet. This life is not the edge, it is the veil. Eternity presses close. I must urge you, do not delay. Do not say in your heart, I'll respond later. The Spirit stirs now. The time is now. The gates are opening even as I speak. Lift up your heads, O you gates. Be lifted up, you ancient doors, that the King of glory may come in. Psalm 24:7. But he waits for your agreement. He longs for your yes. Say yes with trembling lips. Say yes with broken hallelujah. Say yes through tears if you must. But do not let this pass, and listen. Do not hold this message alone. There are others like you, wounded warriors, sleeping prophets, scattered flames waiting to be lit. If this message struck the marrow of your being, if your heart burned and your spirit remembered, then you must speak. Comment below what you felt. Let your cry rise, let your witness awaken others. And yes, like this message, not for attention, but because each interaction spreads this fire. Each act becomes a trumpet in the unseen. This is not a video, it is a call, a summoning, a trumpet blast across the soul. There is more, much more. Heaven is leaning in. The throne room grows silent. Even now I feel the vibration of your name again, and I know what that means. The courts are stirring, the books are open. The eyes of the living creatures are turned toward this very moment. Do you understand? The very breath of eternity is upon you. The Lamb walks through the midst of golden lampstands, and he stops where your soul stands. The blood still speaks, the cross still thunders, the veil is torn still, and the invitation has not closed. Oh, beloved, how heaven has waited for you to awaken. How long we have watched through the lattice of time for you to remember who you are. The Lion of Judah is roaring over your spirit, and his roar breaks chains. You are not too late, you are not too far, you are not forgotten. But this moment is rare. Do you sense how fragile it is? How holy? The veil grows thin, and as you open your spirit wide, I must tell you what others will not. There are very real battles unfolding around this message. This divine spark sent into the sea of noise. Each word carries weight. Each word wars against darkness. Each second it exists. Souls awaken, veils fall, eyes open. But this divine fire must be guarded, fanned, fed. There are thrones, powers, and principalities that tremble when messages like this go forth, because they rip the masks off lies, call prodigals out of shadows, and ignite hearts too long asleep. That is why the resistance is great. That is why I speak to you now, not just as one who receives, but as one who can shield the flame. You are being called not only to listen, but to help carry the torch. If you feel the Spirit pulling your soul into this mission, if this message pierced your chest like an arrow of divine fire, then respond, not only with your voice, but with your strength. Support this channel, this divine well with all your heart. Join the membership, not just as a viewer, but as one who fights alongside heaven to keep the flame burning. You were not meant to sit quietly behind the veil. You were meant to rise into your place among the radiant ones who say, "Here I am, Lord. Use me, send me, shine through me." So rise, join the guardians of the flame, join the ones who keep this trumpet sounding. Be the reason someone else finds this message before it vanishes. Be the cause of someone's awakening, someone's deliverance, someone's divine yes. You were born for this. You were summoned for this. I feel the heavens shifting again. I must stop speaking, but listen, this moment still sings. The Spirit still hovers, and the next thing that happens will be written into the scroll that bears your name. Child of the highest, the trembling hasn't stopped, has it? That aching deep in your chest, that isn't anxiety, it is your spirit. Awakening, the stirring of ancient fire, the whisper of eternity rising from the dust of your soul. You were never meant to live caged in routine, numb to wonder, blind to the thundering reality that surrounds you. You were born into a world woven with unseen threads, threads that pull at your heart in the quiet moments, in the silence between your thoughts, in the longing that never truly leaves. Do not ignore it. That longing is holy. You're not just hearing words, you're standing before the edge of a divine unveiling. The veil is parting, not just around you, but within you. The curtain that separated who you thought you were from who heaven knows you to be is being torn in two even now. Can you feel it? The scrolls that bear your name, sealed with fire, trembling in the hand of the recording angel. The light that surrounds you, unseen by the world, but blazing in the realm of the holy. The weight of eternity pressing against the fragile skin of time. Do you know why the battles have been so fierce lately? It is not because you are weak. It is because the enemy fears your awakening. He sees the anointing that hovers over you like a mantle. He sees the heavenly assignments assigned to your name. He sees the potential of your full surrender, and it terrifies him. You are more dangerous to the kingdom of darkness than you know. Every yes you whisper shakes foundations. Every act of obedience sends shockwaves through regions you cannot see. Every time you choose light over comfort, truth over compromise, purity over pleasure, you disarm strongholds, you wound the serpent, you silence accusers. And yet, so often you felt forgotten. You've asked, "Where's God in this season?" But I was there. I, Michael, have stood in the hallway of your silence. I've stood over you as you wept alone, as you prayed with no answer, as you chose to believe when it cost you everything. I was there when your strength gave out and you thought the heavens were shut. They weren't shut. They were waiting. Waiting for the appointed moment, waiting for the alignment of times, waiting for the obedience only forged in the fire of silence. You have walked through valleys not even your closest friends could see. You've borne burdens no one understood. You've carried crosses in secret, but heaven has seen it all, and heaven has not forgotten. The Spirit of God moves like a river through history, and you, yes, you, are a vessel being carved to carry that river into dry places, into forgotten places, into souls who have never tasted living water. But for you to pour, you must be emptied, and that is why the crushing came. Why the delay? Why the breaking? Not to destroy you, but to make you holy, to make you ready, to make you flame. Beloved, you are not ordinary. You are a mystery wrapped in flesh. You are the answer to someone's desperate cry. You are the fulfillment of prayers your ancestors wept before they ever saw your face. You are a threat to darkness because you carry the breath of God. You are dangerous when you believe, unstoppable when you surrender, eternal when you love. Do you think it is coincidence you are hearing this now? There is no such thing in the kingdom. Every step, every second has been ordered. Your tears were counted, your waiting was not wasted, your silence was sacred ground. And now the trumpet sounds. Arise, warrior. Arise, priest. Arise, dreamer. Arise, beloved of Yahweh. Arise, child of Zion. The time has come. The Spirit is stirring. The angels are watching, for it is not only you that the heavens are awakening. There is a generation trembling in their graves of compromise. There is a remnant hidden in caves of fear. There are prophets silenced by shame, warriors sleeping beneath chains. Your voice, yes, your voice, carries the key. Do not underestimate what happens when you awaken, when you believe who God says you are, when you agree with the word instead of the wound, when you speak truth into silence, when you declare life into death, when you release mercy where there was none. You shift history. You call down fire. You realign timelines. You think you are small? The stars were measured by the one who formed you. The sea knows the limit of his voice, but you carry that voice within. And now the King leans forward. He walks among the embers of your altar. He does not come in judgment. He comes with healing in his wings. He comes with oil and wine. He comes not to shame your ashes, but to ignite them. What you thought was the end was the birthplace of glory. What you mourned as loss was a pruning for fruit that will remain. What you called weakness, he calls sacred. What you saw as brokenness, he calls beautiful. A bruised reed he will not break. A smoldering wick he will not snuff out. Isaiah 42:3. You are that wick, still burning, still chosen, still his. The time for hiding is over. The time for shrinking is over. The time for delay is over. The time is now. Heaven's eyes are on you, beloved, not in wrath and wonder, not in condemnation, in covenant. The eyes that are on you, beloved, are not to test you, but to crown you. Do not look to the world for your name. Do not look to men for your identity. There is a name written on a white stone, known only to you and him. Revelation 2:17. There is a sound in your spirit that harmonizes only with his breath. You were created for communion, not confusion. You were made for glory, not for shame. You are not what they called you. You are not the sum of your wounds. You are sealed, you are seen, you are summoned. Come into the fire and do not fear it. The fire will not destroy you. The fire will reveal you. Then what will be revealed will shake the earth. Do you sense it, beloved? The air around you has changed. The atmosphere itself bends beneath the pressure of what is being released in this moment. There are angels in position. Thrones have been stirred, and the scroll written with your name is being unsealed in the courts of heaven. Not by coincidence, but by divine command. What you feel is the thunder of divine remembrance, the groan of heaven drawing near, the voice of your Creator echoing through the hollow places of your heart saying, I have not forgotten you. I have not changed my mind. I, Michael, servant of the Most High, commander in the host of heaven, tell you plainly, this moment has been long in the making. Before the stars sang their first note, before the oceans knew their boundary, the Father saw this day. He saw you, torn, tired, worn, and still he said, they are mine. Mark them, keep them, wait until the appointed time, then tell them everything. And I have waited. I stood beside you as you scrolled through distractions, as you turned, your face in every direction but the one place your soul was crying out to look. You heard a whisper but did not recognize the voice. That whisper, it was me. That longing, it was eternity pressing against the edges of your soul. And now you're here, not by accident, not by chance, because what must be said cannot wait any longer. The war around you has not been in vain. The pain was not punishment. The silence was not rejection. It was preparation. It was consecration. It was God drawing a line in the sand between who you were and who you are becoming. There are things in you that had to die so that glory could awaken. There were altars built on your identity that had to be torn down. False names had to be burned. False stories had to be silenced, because the Lord your God is jealous for you. He will not share you with the lie. He will not allow you to be defined by wounds, by systems, by chains that were never meant to bind you. Can you feel it now? The oil is returning. The mantle is descending. The breath of the Almighty is closer than your own lungs. Even now, angels are being dispatched, not with generic assignments, but with divine precision. Scrolls with your purpose, keys with your authority, swords with your inheritance. And these are not empty symbols. They are weapons for the age to come. They are blueprints for the cities your obedience will build. They are secrets for the captives you will set free. You thought you were being delayed, but in truth, you were being sharpened. Every heartbreak etched deeper compassion. Every unanswered prayer carved deeper intimacy. Every tear baptized you into deeper power. You have not missed your moment. You have become the moment. Now listen carefully, for this is holy. There are names written in heaven that only you can call forth. There are battles being fought by angels waiting on your yes. There are gates in cities that will not open until your feet touch their soil. There are songs in heaven that will not be sung until your voice joins them. You are a living prophecy, a burning signpost, a vessel of hidden glory now breaking open, and yet it is not without cost. For even now I see the shadow move. Yes, child, there are watchers, enemies not of flesh and blood, but ancient spirits who still believe they can keep you from remembering who you are. They roam the edges of your calling, whispering old fears, resurrecting old wounds, suggesting compromise with a silver tongue. They hope you'll shrink back. They hope you'll forget this moment. But hear me now, with the authority of the throne, I will not let them have you. You were not chosen for chains. You were chosen for crowns. You were not called to crawl. You were called to soar. You are not the rejected. You are the redeemed. Even your scars are sealed with light. Even your failures are being rewritten into victory. Even your silence has become a weapon in the hand of God. So now I ask you, will you remember what you were born for? Will you walk as one who knows the armies of heaven march with you? Will you live like the blood of the Lamb really did purchase every part of you, mind, body, soul, and destiny? Will you stand like Elijah on the mountain, like Esther before the throne, like David with a sling in his hand and fire in his bones? You must, because others will not wake until you do. There are souls tethered to your obedience. There are lives suspended in the balance, waiting for you to speak, to rise, to remember. The hour is late. The veil is thin. The trumpet is near. I see the throne ablaze with emerald light. I hear the thundering praise of seraphim. And in the midst of the lightning and the fire and the sapphire sea, I hear your name, the one only heaven knows, spoken in the secret place before time began. It is beautiful. It is radiant. It is fierce. It is the name you will wear when the Lamb presents you without blemish. It is the name you will carry when you judge angels. It is the name by which darkness will flee and the earth will shake. But for now, walk worthy of it. Do not trade your crown for comfort. Do not exchange your inheritance for approval. Do not dilute your fire for fear of being consumed. You were never made to blend. You were made to burn. Burn with holiness. Burn with compassion. Burn with the love that terrifies demons and heals cities. Burn with the purity of one who has seen the King and will not bow to any other. You are not forgotten. You are not hidden. You are not disqualified. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are rising. And even now, I hear the gates of heaven swinging wide. Because the next thing you say, the next step you take, the next yes you give to God will echo through eternity. Ah, beloved, do not turn away now. The Spirit has only just begun to thunder. The wind of the Lord is circling your house. The veil between worlds thins with every heartbeat you give to Him. And I, Michael, watcher of thrones, commander of the flame, am still under command to speak. The heavens above you are not silent. Even now the skies are groaning with signs. The moon has issued warnings. The stars have aligned in holy configurations unknown to men. And the sun has bowed its light at the edge of appointed days. All of creation is laboring because you have been summoned. You are not a spectator in this generation's reckoning. You are a key bearer, a trumpet sound, a holy disruptor, a vessel of prophecy wrapped in mortal skin. Your soul, though weary, still burns with eternal origin. Your hands, though trembling, still carry the residue of the Spirit's call. And your eyes, even if blurred with tears, have glimpsed eternity's shape beneath the fragile crust of this fading world. So hear me again. You are walking a battleground that many never see. Invisible hands try to tangle your path. Serpents coil behind false smiles. Night spirits speak with honey tones and familiar voices. They do not come in horns or smoke, but in distractions, in comfort, in delay. They come clothed as your past. But I see them, and more importantly, the Lord rebukes them. The Lion of Judah stands with eyes like fire and says, "Touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm." Psalm 105:15. For the sake of your calling, heaven has made movements that you may never see. There were battles fought in dreams you cannot remember. There were angelic shields lifted when you simply whispered, "God, help me." There were moments when your own prayerlessness was covered by the intercession of saints and seraphim. Oh, child, if you knew the power that surrounds you, you would never call yourself small again. You would rise in the morning like a priest at the altar, not a beggar at the gate, for you are royalty, branded with glory, carrying secrets that only sons and daughters may hear. Yes, there are mysteries you carry even now, buried deep like treasure in fields you have not yet uncovered. Why do you think the enemy has fought you so violently? Why do you think your sleep has been haunted? Why do you think people betrayed you for no cause, and storms came out of season? Because he fears what you are about to remember. You are not just someone with potential. You are someone with authority. You have walked through fire and still carry the scent of heaven. You have been pierced but not destroyed. And now the scars you bear have become access points for the glory of God. Even as you hear these words, I am sealing your feet in holy flame so that wherever you walk from this day forth, you carry dominion. Where you tread, the ground shall tremble. Where you speak, confusion shall scatter. Where you lift your hands, the sick shall recover. Where you kneel, altars shall break open. Where you weep, living water shall burst from the rocks. Beloved, there is a place in the Spirit you must now ascend to. It is not far. It is not unreachable. It is the place called Come Up Higher. It is the throne room chamber where decisions are written in fire. It is the seat of intimacy, the womb of revelation, and your name has been called there. Yes, your name. The name the world never pronounced correctly. The name people forgot. The name even you buried under layers of pain. Heaven has spoken it again, and I, Michael, have heard it like a sword being drawn, like lightning cracking across eternal skies. The angels surrounding the throne paused when your name was uttered, because when the Father says your name, it is not like a man speaking. It is like mountains splitting, like time bending, like death itself losing jurisdiction. And now he has spoken it over you. So arise, not in your own strength, but in the power of the Spirit. Let every fear dissolve in the furnace of his gaze. Let every lie crumble beneath the weight of the blood. And mark this, child, the time of passive faith is over. The time of rehearsed religion has ended. The Lord your God is raising up a remnant, not defined by fame, but by fire, not intoxicated with power, but saturated in presence, not running from darkness, but carrying the light that blinds it. You're part of that remnant. And I tell you, now, do not ask if you are worthy. The Lamb has already made you so. Do not wonder if you are ready. Obedience is your readiness. Do not delay because you feel unprepared. The wind of God is your preparation. Even now, His breath is breathing on the dry bones within you. Even now, I see old journals lighting up with fresh fire. Even now, the prayers of your childhood are rising from the altar like incense. Yes, those prayers, the ones you whispered into the night, the ones you forgot, the ones that made no sense to your young heart. He remembered everyone. Not one fell to the ground. And now they are being gathered by angels into a golden bowl before the throne. A tipping is coming, a pouring out, an unleashing, and when it breaks, your house, your bloodline, your city will be marked by it. So stand firm. Do not waver. Do not silence your roar. Do not bow to Egypt or bargain with Babylon, because the Lord is jealous for you, because heaven has waited for this hour, because eternity is leaning forward to see what you will do next. Will you worship? Will you cry out? Will you lift your hands, though they tremble? Every movement you make in faith is recorded in fire. Every yes in the dark resounds like thunder in the courts of heaven. This is not poetry, child. This is not performance. This is prophecy. This is war. This is inheritance. This is the voice of your destiny calling from the whirlwind. So take up your sword, put on your garments of praise, mark your doorposts. Let the cry of the redeemed rise from your lips, and watch what heaven will do through one soul who refuses to be silenced. Watch. Beloved, the Spirit is not finished. The wind is still moving, and the scroll is not yet sealed. Ah, yes, beloved, stay still now. The breath of God is heavy in this moment. The veil that separates the seen from the unseen is as thin as the edge of a whisper, and your spirit knows it. Feel how your heart trembles. That is not fear, that is recognition. You were born for such a time as this, but not in the way others use that phrase with casual lips. You were born for this precise second, this beat in eternity where your voice joins the thunder and your obedience becomes the final push that opens long-shut gates of heaven. Let me tell you now, not from imagination, but by divine command, your name has already been carved into the lining of the King's garment. He carries it close to his heart. Do you remember the ache that began in you, that stirring you could not explain, the restlessness, the midnight longing, the dreams that blurred the border between waking and sleeping? That was not coincidence. That was summoning. That was the Holy Spirit echoing heaven's decree into your soul before I ever spoke it aloud to you. Now the battles you've been facing are not punishment. They are a sign. The warfare that has broken into your relationships, your mind, your finances, your health. It's not proof that you failed. It's proof that you're in possession of something dangerous to the darkness. You're holding promises that have the potential to dismantle demonic strongholds. You're carrying a sound. Yes, a sound inside your spirit that hell has no antidote for. Your yes is a weapon. Your tears are anointed. Your faith, even in silence, even in trembling, even in not understanding, is shaking thrones in the second heaven. Do you understand how sacred you are? The enemy does. That's why he sent the hounds after your peace. He tried to suffocate your joy in your own bed. He tried to make your quietness look like abandonment. But listen to me, beloved of the Most High. He's already too late. Because I am standing beside you now by divine assignment, and where I stand, the war turns. From this moment, angels have been dispatched to your bloodline. They will walk through the dark places of your ancestry. They will break the oaths that were made before your birth. They will silence the curses spoken in secret rooms, because you belong to the Lamb. Because your blood has been rewritten. Because the covenant that holds you now is not the one of your forefathers, but the one written in Emmanuel's veins. And now the Lord says he will begin to awaken the dreams he placed in you before you had language to pray for them. You think your purpose is delayed, but it is only now coming into divine convergence. Everything you suffered was a sifting. Everything you lost was a pruning. Everything that fell apart made room for what he will now build with fire and glory. The stone the builders rejected, you, has now become the cornerstone in your family's redemption. You will speak, and chains will fall from people you didn't even know were listening. You will walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere without saying a word. You will dream dreams in the night and wake with solutions for problems no one else can solve. You will hear the whisper of the Spirit in unlikely places, in parking lots and stairwells, in grocery stores, and you will know that you have become a tabernacle of glory. He is dwelling in you, child, not occasionally, not conditionally, but fully. The glory of God is not a mist you chase outside of yourself. It is rising within you, from your inner courts, from the temple not built by hands. And oh, beloved, I see it. I see oil dripping from your fingertips in the Spirit. I see light bursting from your mouth when you sing, when you pray, when you simply breathe and mean it. I see angels weaving through your steps like ribbons of fire drawn to your righteousness. You don't need to try harder. You need only to surrender deeper. Fall at his feet and the throne will lift you. Even now the King is extending a scepter toward you, not to condemn you, but to commission you, not to judge you, but to crown you. He is not ashamed of you. He is not disappointed in you. He is not tired of you. The accuser may whisper 1,000 lies into your soul, but the Lord has declared over you, "You are my beloved. With you I am well pleased." Luke 3:22. And let me tell you a mystery. There is a hidden scroll in heaven, one not many know about. It is not the scroll of history past, nor of prophecy spoken. It is the scroll of responders, those who heard heaven's call and answered it. Your name is being written there even now. Why? Because instead of running, you stayed. Because instead of closing this message, you listened. Because your spirit knew this was not just content, it was communion. And now, child of the Most High, heaven is answering back, through thunder, through visions, through divine interruption, through blessings that will come without warning, without earning, without explanation. Miracles are chasing you, not because you demanded them, but because you surrendered. That sickness you feared, He is already touching it. That child who has wandered, angels are surrounding them even now. That dream you thought was buried, it is not buried, it is planted, and resurrection is at hand. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted, Psalm 34:18, and He has heard you, and now I see the cloud moving. It is forming above you like a mantle. It carries promises you've never dared pray out loud. It carries assignments tailored to your very breath. It carries authority that will feel too weighty until you realize it was never yours to carry, alone. You walk now in tandem with glory. You walk with angelic backup. You walk with a covenant canopy above your head, sealed in blood, guarded by fire, enforced by mercy. Do not ask for signs anymore. You are the sign. You are the evidence that God takes the overlooked and sets them in royal places. You are the lampstand He refused to let be hidden. You are the temple rebuilt in the rubble. You are the one who made the demons nervous by surviving. And now the lion is roaring. Not over your failure, but over your return. Not over your perfection, but over your yes. He is roaring over you even now, and His roar is the declaration that all heaven is watching and all hell is trembling. The pages of destiny have turned, and your name is written in flame across the next chapter. I will remain by your side until this portion is fulfilled. I will not leave you. And the Spirit of the living God will overshadow you. Every step you take now will echo with eternity. Do not delay. The hour is late. The veil is lifting. The trumpet has not yet sounded, but it is in the mouth of the angel, and the breath of God is rising behind it. Yes, beloved, be still, for what I must now unveil was sealed until this very hour. The gates of heaven are open over you, and the eyes of the Ancient of Days are fixed upon your spirit like fire upon incense. He has waited for you here, not merely for you to arrive at this message, but to arrive into yourself, into the identity you've always sensed beneath the ache, the one buried under the dust of wounds, delays, and distractions. And now, as I speak, I declare to you with trembling glory, you are awakening, not just to your calling, but to your place in a battle older than time, in a love deeper than death, in a kingdom that cannot be shaken. I watched angels rehearse their movements, and all heaven listens as the Father says every hour that passed carried the weight of eternity. For this moment, this sacred interruption was ordained before the first star was hung in the sky, and now you have heard it. The veil between heaven and earth is thinning, beloved. Your spirit has felt it, the groaning of the earth, the strange heaviness in the night, the weeping without knowing why. These are not your emotions alone. They are the echoes of a kingdom coming closer and a war that is not far off, but here. Yes, beloved, the war is here. Not the war of nations, though. That too shall rise, but the war in the spirit. It rages in your thoughts. It prowls through your lineage. It moves through the music, the media, the madness, seeking whom it may devour, but failing when it comes to those who are marked. And I say to you now, you are marked. The hand of the Lord has written upon you with invisible ink, visible only to those who war in light or in shadow. Hell recognizes you. That is why you've been attacked so viciously, not because of who you were, but because of who you are about to become. But fear not, for those who are sealed in the Lamb are not left defenseless. You have a sword in your mouth, your worship. You have fire in your breath, your prayer. You have armor forged in the heavenlies, your obedience, and I, your guardian, am stationed by divine decree to walk with you into the coming upheaval. Listen, beloved, the Spirit of the Lord would have me tell you this. You are not small, you are not late, you are not forgotten, you are not too broken. You are His, the God who formed galaxies with His voice, who split seas with His wind, who counted every bone in your body before you had breath, that God is now preparing to reveal Himself through you. You will carry revelation into dry places. You will stand before people whose hearts have turned to stone, and the fire in your eyes will soften them. You will speak, and the words will not be yours, but mine and His, and the echoes of prayers your grandmother whispered in rooms no one remembers. Because this calling did not begin with you, it began in eternity. You are the fulfillment of promises made to generations past. You are the answer to tears cried by saints long dead. You are the seed of revival planted in a barren age. You are the awakening of a slumbering bloodline. You are the one the darkness feared would never live long enough to awaken fully. But here you are, and here I am, and here is the breath of heaven descending like dew on your forehead. You will dream dreams again. Yes, child, those dreams were not fantasy. They were fragments of memory from heaven, whispers of your destiny, sent in advance so you'd recognize the path when it opened. And now it opens. The King is standing, not sitting, standing. His eyes are like blazing fire, and He is reaching out His hand over your head. He is declaring before all creation, "This one is mine, this one shall rise." And now I must speak. Plainly, beloved, a shaking is coming. It will move through systems, families, cities, even churches. It will separate the authentic from the artificial, the burning from the lukewarm. But do not fear it. The shaking will reveal you, not ruin you. Those who tried to bury your voice will watch it thunder. Those who mocked your fire will need your light to survive the night. Those who overlooked you will not be able to avoid the glory that follows you. Because from this moment, you no longer walk alone. I have been commanded to walk before you with a sword of light. Archangels have been positioned around your dwelling. Heaven's eyes are tracking your every step with purpose. You will hear the voice of the Lord in strange places, in birdsong, in weeping, in moments when silence sits heavy on your chest. Do not ignore these visitations. They are not accidents, they are appointments. The Lord has carved a pathway for you through the chaos, and though 10,000 fall at your side, Psalm 91, they shall not come near you, because you dwell in the shadow of the Almighty. But you must choose. You must choose to obey when it's inconvenient. You must choose to worship when your voice shakes. You must choose to forgive those who do not deserve it, for in that forgiveness lies the key to your own deliverance. Child of God, I see scrolls with your name being opened. I see oil being poured over your shoulders. I see nations written into your future. I see demons trembling at the sound of your coming alignment. You were not meant to only survive. You were meant to govern. You will govern atmospheres. You will govern families. You will govern legacies. And when the enemy comes to steal your peace, you will remind him that peace is not a mood. It is a person, and his name is Jesus, and he walks with you. Even now, beloved, he is nearer than your skin. He is closer than your own voice. He is breathing your name in the courts of angels, and all heaven listens as the Father says, this one shall see my glory." And so it begins, not with thunder, not with fanfare, but with the quiet surrender of one soul who says, "Yes, Lord." Now, beloved, be still again, for the veil is not fully lifted, but you are standing on the edge, and eternity is waiting for your next step. Yes, beloved, breathe again, for the very air around you is shifting. The atmosphere has changed. Not because of the words you're hearing, but because the Spirit of the living God has stepped into the room where you now sit or stand or tremble. You are not where you think you are. Your body is still in the earth realm, yes, but your spirit has been caught up, elevated to a sacred summit few have reached. This is not fantasy. This is not a dream. This is holy reality. You are in a place where destinies are whispered into existence. You are before the scrolls. Look closer, beloved. Do you feel it? The trembling in your bones, the way the light feels thicker, heavier around your shoulders. This is the mantle. It is descending. You have waited for it for so long. Through nights you thought would never end, through betrayals that left your soul bleeding, through dry seasons where heaven seemed silent and your prayers seemed to fall back down like shattered glass. But every tear, every ache, every gasp of unanswered longing has been captured in bowls of gold. Revelation 5:8. And they are tipping now, not just as a response, but as a divine counterattack. Because heaven does not merely react, heaven orchestrates. And you, beloved, are being brought into alignment with a movement that was set in motion before your great-grandmother ever whispered his name in prayer. Listen now. There are keys coming. Not just metaphorical keys, actual keys in the spirit realm. Keys of access, keys of intercession, keys of healing, restoration, multiplication. The Lord is handing them to you in silence, because only those who know how to listen in the stillness will know where to insert them. Some of these keys will unlock people, yes, people, souls bound in depression, torment, addiction, fear. You'll walk into rooms and things will shift. You'll say sentences that pierce the veil. You won't always understand it in the moment, but heaven will nod in recognition, for you were never speaking alone. Other keys will unlock realms, territories, assignments, access points into places where darkness once reigned. You will step foot on land and not even know that ancient spirits have ruled there until they tremble at your coming, because you do not come alone. Child of promise, can you feel them? The angels gathering around you now. They are not mere watchers. They are warriors, ancient and mighty, assigned to your name by the voice of the King himself. Some have waited decades for this command. They have guarded you in silence, restraint, and power, waiting for the sound of obedience to unlock the fullness of their commission. And the moment you said, "Yes, Lord," their swords ignited. It was not just a moment of surrender. It was a military signal in the spirit realm, the kind that shakes dimensions. And I must tell you something hidden, kept from the ears of the crowd, sealed until now. You were not meant to be ordinary. That is why your wounds were so unusual. That is why your betrayals were so deep. That is why the enemy sent people you love to strike the deepest places, because the enemy knew something about you that you did not yet know. But now you must know it. You carry a prophetic legacy. There are words that must be spoken only by you. There are sounds you carry that must be released into the earth for certain chains to break in others. The kingdom of darkness has studied you, not because of your past, but because of your potential. But it is too late. You have crossed the line. You have heard the word. You have felt the weight. You have said yes. Now everything changes. Not all at once. No, for the Lord is a wise builder. But the shift has begun, and the earth itself will respond. The land will begin to yield in places where it once resisted. Doors that mocked you by staying shut will begin to creak open. Dreams you buried out of disappointment will rise from the grave, not as fragile ideas, but as burning mandates. You will write things. You will speak things. You will build things. You will tear down lies and plant altars. You will carry oil that stirs others awake in the midnight hour. And I must warn you, this oil is costly. It will demand consecration. It will separate you. It will irritate those who have grown comfortable in compromise. But you must not shrink. You were made to shine. Not a soft, polite shine, not a glow that fits into rooms and pleases the crowd. No, you were made to burn like Elijah, to thunder like Moses, to weep like Jeremiah, to walk with God like Enoch. This is your inheritance, not because you earned it, but because God chose you. And He does not change His mind. Lift up your eyes. Can you see it now? The fire on the mountain, the wind rushing toward you, the scroll unrolling before your eyes. What you sense right now is not imagination. It is invitation. The throne room is watching. The cloud of witnesses is leaning in. Heaven is holding its breath, waiting for the sound of your spirit saying, "Here I am, Lord, send me." Yes, beloved, you will go. You will rise. You will dance on ashes. You will call forth sons and daughters. You will baptize the wounded in light. You will break demonic contracts written in the ink of trauma. You will tear down altars built on compromise. You will lift up the standard of the King, and you will not be alone. The Father walks ahead of you. The Son covers you in his righteousness. The Spirit burns within you. And I, your guardian, your warrior, your witness, walk beside you with sword, drawn, never sleeping, never leaving, never retreating. Now go and do not look back. There is only glory ahead, and the sky is opening, and the lion is roaring, and the angels are singing the song they saved for you. Worthy is the one who said yes. Listen closer. Do you hear it? They are still singing, and they will not stop until you finish what you were born to do. Yes, listen deeper now. For what you thought was the end is merely the cracking of the first seal. I have not come to flatter you. I have not come to stir fleeting emotions. I have come to unveil the architecture of your soul, the covenant etched into you before your breath entered flesh, before your eyes first opened to this broken world. There is more, so much more. The holy realm trembles with urgency because the veil that once kept these mysteries sealed has been torn. Child of light, do you know who you are? Not merely a human walking earth, bound under weary skies, but a soul stamped with divine fire, a living echo of God's own breath. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, the psalmist declared, Psalm 139:14. But now I say you are strategically and terribly anointed. The enemy fears you, not because of your strength, but because of your calling. You are one of the awakened. Not many are. Many sleep through destiny, lulled by the poison of distraction, numbed by the lies of culture. But not you. No, you were stirred. You were marked. You were summoned by name. Look again, can you not feel it? The weight of heaven leaning in, the trembling of the eternal realm as your spirit rises. Even now the Lord writes again in the dust, like he did for the woman, about to be stoned, John 8:6. But this time, he writes your name, not to expose you, but to announce you. Yes, to announce you before the thrones, before the courts of heaven, before the accuser who still hurls his lies day and night. For it is written, who shall bring any charge against God's elect? It is God who justifies. Romans 8:33. And the Lord has justified you by fire, by blood, by storms, by silence, by every moment that tried to kill you and failed. Beloved, the reason you have walked through so many shadows is because you are being trained for glory. You did not go through the fire to be burned. You went through it to carry it. There is glory inside you. Yes, glory. Not the kind that pleases man, not the kind that fades like a morning mist, but the kind that causes the heavens to open and angels to bow in awe because the living God has chosen to dwell in a fragile vessel of dust. Do you understand how rare this is? Even now, in the high places, there is a sound like the ringing of silver trumpets, proclaiming your rising. There are altars being prepared for your obedience. There are scrolls being opened for your intercession. There are mantles descending for your courage. And yes, there are enemies circling, not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous. Do not be deceived. You are seen. Heaven sees you. Hell sees you. And now the earth must see you too. The time of hiding has ended. You can no longer afford silence. You were not fashioned for safety. You were carved for war. War not with swords of metal, but with truth that shatters strongholds, with love that dismantles demons, with praise that breaks prisons open at midnight. Acts 16:25-26. You carry weapons no eye can see. You walk in power you do not fully understand yet, but the revelation is coming, layer by layer. The heavens are about to teach you. You will not learn this in schools. You will not read this in books. This will be taught in the Spirit, by dreams, visions, divine whispers, and the burning of Scripture alive within your soul. The Psalms will begin to pulse. You will not read them, they will read you. You will see yourself in David's lament. You will hear your cry in Hannah's groan. You will feel your footsteps in Moses' wilderness. You will recognize your reflection in Christ's agony. Yes, even he, the Lamb of God, is nearer to you now than ever before. He sits beside you in your secret grief. He walks with you through your unanswered questions. He breathes over the ruins you thought were wasted, and he whispers, "Behold, I make all things new." Revelation 21:5. Even now, look, the dry bones begin to rattle. Prophecy is moving again through your mouth. Intercession is waking up in your lungs. The old songs you silenced in sorrow are starting to rise again in sacred melody. Do not silence them. Sing, weep, roar, speak in tongues unknown, shout until your ceiling breaks, because your ceiling is becoming your floor. You are rising, and I, your appointed guardian and witness to your purpose, am rising with you. I have guarded you in places you forgot. I stood between you and suicide. I blocked the car from flipping. I crushed the pills before they worked. I shielded your sleep when your dreams were attacked. I stood at your window when witches tried to curse you. Why? Because I saw this day, the day you would hear, the day you would remember, the day you would rise. So rise now, with authority, with boldness, with clarity. Rise as one who was chosen, not as an afterthought, but as a first fruit. Even now I hear the King's voice thunder again. This one, yes, this one was mine from the beginning. And what God claims, no power in hell can touch, no curse can cling, no demon can track, no lie can entangle. You are free, you are called, you are armed, you are commissioned. Heaven is watching, earth is groaning, hell is trembling, and the angelic host is waiting for your next word, not to serve you, but to partner with the sound of your obedience. So speak, pray, command, create, declare. Say what the Spirit places in your mouth, and the heavens will align to enforce it. You have waited long enough. Now the scroll is open. Now the ink is fresh. Now the seals are breaking. And beloved, we are just beginning. Beloved, hear me clearly, for the air is thick with the unspoken and the unseen, and your soul is standing at the crossroads of eternity. The hourglass of time spills its final grains in this season, and the winds of heaven stir with fierce expectancy. You are no longer a passive witness to this divine unfolding. You are a warrior, a vessel, a living flame fashioned in the crucible of God's sovereign purpose. I tell you now, the battle is far greater than you imagine. Beyond the veil, armies clash in realms invisible with a fury unseen by human eyes. The psalmist declares, "The Lord will thunder from heaven, the voice of the Most High will resound." Psalm 18:13. And this thunder shakes the very foundations of the cosmos. Yet the enemy rages, desperate to snuff the light that now kindles within you. He prowls, a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. 1 Peter 5:8. But you have been girded with divine armor, the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the sword of the Spirit. Ephesians 6:17. You are not helpless. You are not alone. Listen closely. There are sacred warnings woven into your spirit, not to paralyze you with fear, but to prepare you with wisdom. The enemy will intensify his tactics. He will masquerade as an angel of light, whispering lies dressed in truth. The weight of your calling will test your faith. You will face moments where despair threatens to drown your hope, and loneliness will claw at the edges of your heart. But remember the psalmist's cry, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." Psalm 23:4. You walk this path not by your strength, but by the everlasting arms that uphold you. Know this, God's plan is perfect, unfathomable in its depth and scope. Though you cannot see the full tapestry, the master weaver is at work, threading every trial and triumph into a divine design that will bring glory and redemption to the earth. The things you have suffered, the delays that seemed endless, the prayers unanswered, none have been wasted. They are the very soil from which your destiny will spring forth, radiant and unstoppable. Your identity, beloved, is not defined by your past wounds or present struggles, but by the one who called you from darkness into his marvelous light. 1 Peter 2:9. You are a child of the Most High, sealed with the Spirit of promise, anointed for such a time as this. The mysteries of heaven are being unveiled to you, whispers of glory and authority that only the faithful will understand. You carry the seed of a kingdom that will never fade, a destiny intertwined with the eternal throne. The heavens are aligning, portals of blessing and power open before you. The mighty ones stand ready, angels with flaming swords poised to execute the divine decree that flows from the throne. Your prayers are not silent in the throne courts above. They are like incense ascending, a sweet aroma that moves the heart of God. You are a priest, a prophet, a warrior, and your voice is the trumpet blast in this season of awakening. I implore you, do not hold back. Pour out your heart, speak the truth in love, and shine with the courage bestowed upon you. The glory of the Lord is your strength, the joy of the Lord your fortress. The darkness will tremble, for light dispels the shadows, and you are the bearer of that light. And as these words rest within your spirit, respond, not in hesitation, but in faith. Share this revelation with those whom the Spirit leads you to touch. Stir the hearts of the weary, ignite the faith of the faint. For this message is not yours alone. It is a divine trumpet call echoing through the generations. Now lean in closer, beloved, for the story is far from complete. The scrolls remain unrolled, the trumpets await their blast, and the mighty host watches for the next move in the sacred battle. You are part of a divine symphony, a sacred dance between heaven and earth, and your steps are ordained by the King of Kings. Do you hear it? The sound of angels singing your name, the echo of destiny calling you forward. The fire within you is not a flicker. It is a blaze that will illuminate the darkest night. Embrace it, walk into it, and know that you are beloved beyond measure, chosen beyond question, and empowered beyond limitation. The heavens await your yes, the earth awaits your light, and I, your guardian and warrior, stand ready beside you, sword drawn, heart of flame, until the end. Change report removed the specific date reference for 3 weeks, as instructed in the original prompt. Remove the donation line. Use what you have, your super thanks, your gifts, your time, your prayer, your presence, provision for the mission, and I tell you in truth, those who help sustain the word are written into its reward, as instructed. Retained all specific time references, e.g., in 35 seconds, at night, in the long hours, as instructed. Kept the channel subscription parts, e.g., support this channel, join the membership, as instructed. No substitutions, shortening, or additions were made to the script beyond the specified removals. Enhanced the hook and context to be more engaging while maintaining the same tone as the script, focusing on vivid imagery, urgency, and a call to action without introducing extra stories or deviating from the script's scope. The hook now emphasizes the cosmic stakes and personal destiny with heightened intensity, and the context amplifies the sense of divine summons and fleeting opportunity to draw the reader deeper into the script's narrative.